interesting discussions in there. But what I'm hearing from you is that the revolution is in our hands. Actually, they supply what we demand, and if we don't demand it, it won't be supplied. So we demanded the chickens, we demanded the trotters, we demanded all these offcuts that meant nothing, and we said we want the stuff. And now it's in mainstream supply chains all over the country, and it's a reflection of us as consumers. So we should be driving the conversation and saying we want more of this and we want more of that. And then obviously the primary sector will then say there is a justifiable demand to produce this.
Funnily enough, talking about demand. So at the moment in our industry, people are leaning towards you calling your traditional leafy vegetables. To the point where people are making like moringa chips. People are making also chips out of your pumpkin leaves because they're high in vitamin A. Because you find that in like rural communities, when children wake up, it's like, here's R1 to go buy chips, and then you find that you are now raising
those card box chips that we get.
Like those little button and the snacks, you know, those R1 snacks thing, you know, and
my choo-choo.
So like you're finding that people in our sector, because people think that agriculture is just about production, but it's actually a very broad field. So you will get your academia, you will get your irrigation, and you will get all of the things that will support your primary agriculture, even your consumer awareness as well. There are people that are like concerned about that. So especially like in black communities, as everybody has said, that we live with like a systematic enslavement, or we come from a very shady past, if I can put it that way. So within the frameworks that we created amongst ourselves, how we eat and all of that. So people are actually finding ways to, you know, like add your health aspects in terms of that moringa chips that will eliminate eventually your vitamin A deficiency, which is like huge among like black communities that you find in peri-urban areas as well. So as much as you can say that it's something that we should demand as consumers, it's very hard to change patterns that have been learned. And also when you look at food as well, yes, it's available, it's in abundance, and apparently we are currently as a world creating enough food to feed everyone. But also it's that issue of demand. Who do you give it to? Who don't you give it to? And you know the politics actually behind the food. So yeah, but as I'm saying, like as the agricultural sector, people are trying more innovative ways that will not drastically change the economic what do you call it? Someone help me, like the economic scale exactly of getting food, but like, you know, introducing into to the consumers, and then also just propelling those health benefits.
Absolutely. So in fact, I mean, you can only eat what you know. So education is key. Hence, for some people, for example, when it comes to meat, there's only 3 types. You know what I'm saying? There's chicken, there's beef, and there's pork, and then
there's the others who don't
what other stuff. So we are locked in. And on that point, I'm thinking about, what the heck is a macadamia nut? So I mean, for me, it's a fair question, because on my grocery list, macadamia nuts do not feature. I have no idea what I'm supposed to use them for. Like, I know those peanuts that are high on the road, then okay, I'm gonna eat it now. You know what I'm saying? I'm hungry, there's that person on the road, and they've got that tin cup, and they go pour those peanuts, salty, and I eat those peanuts. Where does the macadamia nut come in? All I know is cashew nuts are expensive. I'm thinking, whoa. So, I mean, where is this value chain of macadamia nuts coming from? What does it fit in?
So, unfortunately, I must say that macadamia are a 98% export crop.
Oh wow!
So, we as a country supply them to Asia, East Asia, and the American market. And why it's so popular in the Asian market is because it's rooted in their culture. So on their New Year's, they will crack open the macadamia, and if it's whole, it means you will have good luck.
Oh, wow.
something along those lines. But now, as I said before, as now we are, people who are now going into more middle class, you have access to information. Macadamias are a high quality fat nut, so meaning that if you eat them, it's being studied that they will deal with your Alzheimer's, they will deal with your cholesterol, with your cardiovascular issues and all of that. So they're very expensive nuts. Yeah. And then when you open your muesli, you only find half a nut and like they're quite expensive. But I must say, as an industry, we are also trying to establish like a secondary South African market, because unfortunately in our sector, your black emerging farmers still lag behind in terms of the quality of nuts and also just the overall maintenance of the nuts. And so I guess as our industry grows as well, it's where we are also looking at like the consumer awareness to say that in communities, how do you make them first of all accessible, and how are they aware when you treat all your cholesterol and diabetes, which are now like diseases that are affecting black communities. And prevention is better than the cure. So so if you start eating now, you will know that you will prevent all of those things, and especially because as black people, we don't have access to adequate healthcare. When it's time for you to get your chemo, like not many people actually get to the chemo phase, and especially if you are in like rural communities as well, it becomes a very difficult thing. So going back to Indaba and the Macadamia, we are getting there as an industry. We are trying to create that awareness as well, and also just to create a secondary market where if you don't meet the export standards of Asia and so forth, because maybe you weren't spraying properly, you weren't pruning on time, at least there's somewhere to funnel it. Because people will think agro-processing, cooking soul food, but then you also get your oils. Hard husk of the macadamia nuts can be used as coal as well.
Oh wow!
You can make coal. So there's a lot of value added.
Something cooking soul.
Exactly. So there's like a lot of value added, to the point where I've seen some farmers compress that brown husk and they make furniture out of it.
Oh wow!
So the value chain is vast. There's a lot of demand for macadamia nuts in the country, and there's a lot of value added, because honestly, not everyone wants to be a farmer. Not everyone wants to do the agri-processing. Some people are actually agri-crews and would like to do nothing with the actual farming or the producing, but you see something that you could just value added and change it into something else. And that's where you create your niche markets apple. That's where you create job creation and opportunities and so forth. So that's where we stand as an industry.
That's interesting on macadamia nuts. So if you've got deep pockets, but a very slim amount of knowledge, we're trying to expand your knowledge and let you know there's macadamia nuts. Good for your health, so many byproducts, and a great opportunity, even though many people may not be able to afford it in our market. But there's a back-end opportunity to be part of the export chain and create employment here locally in our
one
industry.
thing I'd like to add is that it's a high value crop.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't matter when you plan to enter it, but your returns will always be good if you take care of that initial planting and so forth. And also in terms of poverty alleviation, we are finding communities that are actually taking out gum trees, which has been like the traditional money bringer communities, where community leaders actually have hectares of gum trees to bring to one leader. So now they're actually taking them out because of the high value and the job employment opportunities. Because I think like for 1 hectare you get 2 permanent jobs created, and you get 3 seasonal, and then that rolls over the more hectares that you plant. So it becomes a poverty alleviation plant just by that aspect of it. It's just that it is a very expensive thing to start and establish, but we do encourage anybody with deep pockets to come through.
And with adherence to quality standards, and who can, a high value product, I would presume, needs someone that has a nurturing hand, a focus on quality, in growing this product and making sure it's up to spec. So Q, I mean, in your business, which was...
So before we touch base on that, what I pick up from that is that in conclusion, if you're sick, don't lose your nuts. There's macadamia nuts.
Exactly what I'm saying. Get that into your system and get the health benefits of that.